Radiohead are an English alternative rock band from Abington, Oxfordshire, formed in 1985. The band's first single, Creep, was released in 1992 under the Parapolone Capital label. Creep became a hit after Pablo Honey's 1993 release. This album got a lot of play in Israel, which is interesting. You have songs like Stop Whispering, Creep. This album is quite a bit more raw when compared to the band's later releases, which is not a bad thing. It's good for what this album sounds good for what it's worth. You can now get many of the Radiohead's albums in 2 CD and 2 CD DVD format. The second CD on each album has B-sides, rarities, live performances that were recorded around the time of the album's release or after. The DVDs have music videos and live performance footage and interviews, once again recorded around the time of the album's release. Great album that I recommend to old and new fans. Pick up all of the Radiohead's early albums. 1995, we saw the band release The Bends. This album helped the band gain in popularity in the United Kingdom. You have songs like Iron Lung, High and Dry, Fake Plastic Trees, title track, of course. Great album. I haven't seen this single set, but it's great. The music video recorded at the time actually has Tom York in a shopping cart, being pushed by the band. They're actually in a grocery store, emptied out grocery store, emptied shelf, emptied everything. The lighting in the video is interesting. But yeah, that's a little different than anything I've ever seen. Great album though, heavily rock-oriented album. I like that in a band. They tend to each album, Radiohead would change their style, and it's worked for them over the years. That's not a bad thing when bands change their style, as long as they don't go too far south with it. That was a baby with its eyes popping out of his head. That's really funny. OK Computer, released in 1997. This album really put Radiohead on the map, so to speak. You have songs like No Surprises, Paranoid Android, Karma Police, The Tourist. What other songs? Some of the B-sides on this 2 CD set of the album are great. Polythene. Then you have I can't really remember any of the B-side tracks right now, but when I figure out who's doing the artwork, guys, I'll list it in the description. I promise you that. I will list that when I figure that out. I can look at this and try to interpret it. It looks like a highway and then some buildings in the background. My guess is Tom York really didn't help too much with that. I think there's like a mock-up of his ideas for a video inside the booklet, or inside one of the foldouts of this album, rather. Looks like a child drew that. I think a child did too. Great album though. It has like a Pink Floyd-esque sound to it, in my opinion, and the guitars are real gentle. Great musicianship overall. Great performance. In 2000, we saw the band release Kid A, heavily electronic album this time around. Not a lot of guitars in this one. You have songs like Idiot Tech, Everything in Its Right Place, amongst a few of the good songs in this album. I haven't explored it too much, but Tom York actually drew some artwork for the inside booklet for this album, which is interesting. It's always interesting to see bands help out with the artwork on albums, in my opinion. I don't know. As long as they're, as long as they can draw or paint, and even if it has like a childish look to it, doesn't matter. It's always interesting to see. But as you can see, those are mountains. I forget what they're supposed to be. Some kind of mountain somewhere, really, in real life. But in 2001, Amnesiac came out. This is another fusion album with electronic, jazz, and more use of the guitars, which is really neat. Radiohead actually locked themselves in a hotel room for 2-3 weeks and recorded this album. Tom York said they were in a really bad place at the time of the recording of this album, which is interesting to hear. I might get the single. I don't know if it has all these patches and stuff in it, but I'm gonna get it. Has many of the good songs on this album. You have songs like Knives Out, amongst a few of the good albums. But 2003, Hell to the Thief came out. It's politically and war-themed lyrics in this album. It had use of guitar, electronic music, jazz, and glitch ambient techno, which was one of Tom York's favorite thing. Calm Lag, that's released. It's just a single of B-sides and stuff that weren't put on Hail to the Thief. 2007, the band put out In Rainbows for digital download on their album, or on their website rather. I think it was free. You could download it for free through the band's website. But 2008, this CD was physically released as a 2-disc edition and then a single disc edition, which is more prominent now. The 2-disc is a little harder to find, which has it's pretty much a full album of rarities or just stuff that wasn't put out on the final album, which is really neat to hear. Those tracks I think they should have just put this album out as a 2 CD. I think fans really would have bought into it, but it was only a special edition. You can find it on eBay and probably Craigslist and other auction sites. But Radiohead's B-side material is not just stuff they shove off, and it's not worthy of listening to because it's really good stuff. Everything that I've heard off of each album is really worth listening to. Interesting cover once again though. It has this, I don't know, it looks like a molten lava and being off in space, and it has a really spacey sound to it. You have songs like House of Cards, Jigsaw Falling Into Place, Nude, which is really an actual old Radiohead track that they've been tinkering with in the studio. But great album. I'm actually going to get it on vinyl eventually and CD. But these are my twisted words. This is one of the songs that Radiohead has released. There were rumored that the band was going to record, classical music and release EPs, move away from making albums. But the record label wanted them to release another album, so they're working on it right now as we speak, as I speak, or as anybody speaks. So yeah. A great song though. There's another song dedicated to some man named John something. I'll put it in the description. Anything I miss out on, I'm going to put it in the description, guys. So looking forward to that new Radiohead album. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to ask. I will get back to any and all questions as soon as possible. I am kind of sick right now, guys. So thanks for watching. Have a good one, guys.